What's up, everybody? I know this is a very different show today. I was going to call it an emergency broadcast, but technically not really an emergency. This whole thing kicked off over the weekend, so it's nothing new. But me and the first sergeant over here were talking the other day, and we really wanted to hop on here and basically share our input on what's going on. This man over here has a lot of expertise. That's you, dude. That's you. Yeah, we're going to talk about the invasion, what's going on in Israel. I'm going to be straight up honest right now. I am pro-Israel on this. I've been seeing a lot of these videos, the horrific shit that Palestine and Hamas, the atrocities they've been committing. As far as I'm concerned, it's terrorist acts. This is pure evil that's happening. The god awful things I've been seeing. It's been a dark day. It's been a dark day today. I've been going through a lot of articles and videos, and the shit I've been seeing is horrendous. So yeah, I'm not going to go any further. How you doing over there, buddy?
Good. Just catching up.
All right, so I'm gonna start this off by seeing. So one thing I follow Mario Naufal. I think it's pronounced Naufal on Twitter, X, whatever. That guy has been. I'm sure it's not just him running the account. It's somebody else too, because it's been nonstop information. It's really good information. They've got a lot of sources around the world, including boots on the ground in Israel. He's been doing a lot of Twitter Spaces, putting out a lot of great information. So I've been following him a lot, and he's been paying attention to a lot of the news articles and everything. And this one popped off just a little bit before we went live when I was compiling things. So the official stance right now for the U.S. as far as our citizens are concerned in Israel is the U.S. is not considering evacuating American citizens in Israel. And first time I saw it was just like this post just below. It says, "LOL, what is this, Afghanistan?" That's the way I saw it. I mean, this looks like Afghanistan withdrawal 2.0, where we're just going to leave people in there to fend for themselves. And yes, first on here did comment, yes, they have the Iron Dome. But unfortunately, having seen what's been happening in Israel, that doesn't mean much. I saw the numbers. We've lost 9 American citizens out there. That's some of the highest. There's been citizens killed from over a dozen countries, not counting Israel right now. And the death toll is rising. What do you got? What do you got so far?
It's true. I don't know that we're going to leave American citizens there, like similar to Afghanistan, but it would be advisable to move them out now. I don't get why we're not, unless they're waiting for something else worse to happen, and then that'll spur them to come over and do something, and then lead us into the next world war, I guess. But it's all too familiar from the 70s, back in the PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization, back in the Cold War era. It just seems like a repeat of a playbook we've already seen before.
Well, so I've been talking with you and some others that I can't help but look at this and see that and not be able to see the coincidence here, that there's the connection of what's going on in Ukraine with Russia and with China connecting to Iran. I look at this and see a coordinated effort to, like this tweet here says, I'll pull this up. Wait a minute, let me make sure I'm getting the right one. Yeah, okay, that's it. Pull this up. Bear with me. Okay. So according to Times of Israel, Associated Press, and Al Jazeera reporting that Egypt... No, that was the wrong one. But still, though, that Egypt warned Israel of a major attack coming from Gaza, but Israeli officials ignored. Quote, Egypt cautioned about the situation's escalation, but unfortunately these warnings were disregarded by Israel. They were allegedly told 10 days before the attack happened. PSYOP, question mark. So what I was getting at is that the other one I was looking for was where it was saying that there are reports that Iran intentionally wants the U.S. to get drawn into this war. And the way that I see it, when you piece everything together, when you look at this at an intelligence standpoint, that it looks like they want the U.S. to get drawn in so the U.S. can be even weaker as we are now, so much more weaker, loss of money, loss of funds, loss of equipment to the Ukraine war. Now they want the same thing to happen here in Israel so that Russia and China can be prompted and primed and ready to escalate their intentions, which means one of which will be the invasion of Taiwan.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. And then look at our own issues here in the United States. You know, the second highest number of mass flow of immigrants across our borders in history, all under the Biden administration. 2 times. He just beat his own record this year.
Yeah.
I mean, what do riots look like this year? You know?
Oh my God! Yeah, so that's a whole nother thing we were talking about. Yeah, we talked about this the other day too. That look at they're already happening. You look at what's happened in New York now. Largely, it's all this pro-Palestine stuff. I can't believe some of the stuff I've seen on Twitter. These people holding up banners saying "Queers for Palestine," stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead and take that over to Palestine. See how that works out with you over there.
Right.
But there's mass violence. It's anytime that anyone comes together with these ridiculous protests, that there's immediately violence. Now, if we look at the threats of violence, we could be looking at more potential riots. You compare this to the possibility of that summer of love with the George Floyd riots. It could be more of that. And then also, I look at the possibility that an increased level of war and a threat of war over here in our continental U.S. could lead to the next series of quote-unquote lockdowns. They could be COVID lockdowns 2.0, prompting for more mail-in ballots for the next election.
Well, it's not like we don't have recent history. Then it's all coming out in the news now that, you know, yeah, we admit, and the Army admits that they're retracting the COVID shot statement on St. Patrick's Day this year. You know, it's all another playbook. You know, they're just combining more plays, is what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I want to shout out to. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, you know, you get your in United States actors incite the riots like they'd done previously, and you combine that with the war going on, and yeah, there is one master overall planner to do something.
Yeah, I want to shout out real quick. We got a great chat going on here. We've got 20 people in here rolling in already. Welcome everybody. I'm happy. I'm very happy. This is like I said, this is unscheduled. Only as of yesterday. Not a regular show. Usually shows are on Thursday and Saturday. But I want to shout out to some of our amazing supporters: Voraxalon, Blue Cord Devil, Rarity. I don't think I've seen it in here before. But Rarity says, "True evil at its core, Hamas must be destroyed." Yeah. Jerry Mileston, hello. James something 504. Sweet Pea, welcome back, Sweet Pea. Haven't seen you here in a while. Crystal L looks new. It's up to 11 Americans killed now. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, and yeah. Country Gal 854, hello from Wisconsin. It's sad what's going on. Israel makes me pissed. Yes, I know. And I'm not going to make a football reference, but yes, big Packer fan here. Go Pack Go. Looking forward to the game later. The game later is going to be my relax. I need to relax and decompress from all this ridiculousness, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not kidding.
I have been this entire day has been very dark, going over all this stuff that's been going on. Welcome Bush McFadden, Shellback in here. Welcome, buddy. Undocumented illegal immigrants from 160 nations. Wow. Jerry Milstein on another channel earlier. I heard that they will be doing televised executions. Yeah, that's what they said. That what Palestine has said. Their official report is that anytime an Israeli bomb is dropped on a civilian target, quote unquote, then they're going to execute another prisoner live on YouTube.
I saw that, but is that typical of them in the past? Did they ever execute during, Yasser Arafat's time frame when the same thing was going on?
But the other thing is they launched their attacks from civilian locations. That's the problem.
Right, but that's happened many times before. I mean, I was in Lebanon when that happened. I was in Lebanon when Israeli jets flew over. My kids were there when they bombed the radio tower, like freaking half a mile from where her parents lived.
Yeah, but get what I'm saying though is that they're saying if you bomb a civilian location, we're going to execute somebody. But they keep on launching all of their attacks from civilian locations.
Yeah, that's
Now,
called
so
guerrilla warfare.
yeah, it's dirty as fuck, man. That's what we're
Yeah.
saying here. This shit is dirty as fuck. What they're
So
pulling here.
so they got to start practicing coin operations, door to door fucking searches.
Yeah, counterinsurgency
And
operations.
yeah,
For those who don't
instead
know.
of bombing the shit out of stuff and then being just as bad as the other ones.
Yeah. So Jerry also says that Biden knew this shit would happen, and Biden's going to send our special forces over there. Yep, heard that also.
Oh yeah, they're already over there. They were over there long before this kicked off.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that.
Adam and Driver. Gasp. Adam Driver. Shit.
Driver. Watch out for the sabers.
All right. What is the? Oh yeah. So another thing here. You said you didn't even see this. See, here's some of that video you see on this tweet here of the these. Yeah.
Now, is that the Egyptians dropping in? Because Reuters has a thing that they're not denying that there was paratroopers, but the video most commonly seen is of an Egyptian airdrop.
I know this confuses me too because what the videos that I saw was they're using like ultralight paragliders, actual mechanized.
Yeah,
So
like
you have
you'd seen on California beaches and stuff.
yeah, so they were and that is obviously the best way that they could be able to get in by going in under radar. This looks like to me like an actual aircraft parachute operation that they jumped out of a plane in mass.
Those are full shoots. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Somebody dropped them off.
so I don't think this video right here. I don't think this could possibly be that because that airplane would have been shot out of the sky. There's no way you could get that over Israel.
No. Yeah.
So
This may be the Egyptian, but they did do some sort of an attack like that. An airborne attack.
Yeah, like I said, they came in and actually, there is video from that music festival. The music festival. You aware of what happened at the music festival?
No, I've been chopping trees down and brush all day.
So what happened is that near the Palestinian border in Israel, there was a music festival going on, over 200 people. And there's video of these people just partying on. And then in the distance, you see these paragliders come in. Now, it's not in the dozens like that, but there was, I don't know what the exact number was, but they managed to land there and massacred many people. So, and then what happened after that was just absolute horror. So there's video of like hundreds of people running through the desert, and what's happening in that video apparently is these people who came in through the air. I'm assuming what must have happened is that there was coordination, because what happened is these people were chased down and multiple people were captured and were able to be loaded onto the backs of motorcycles and to be kidnapped. So they must have coordinated to have the airborne operation come in and to have people with vehicles ready to come in to capture these people.
That's bizarre. I mean, it's like a coordinated Vegas thing, start taking people out and actually kidnap people here. But
yeah, and so that's where a lot of these, because there's a lot of POWs right now that Palestine has, and a lot of that came from just that music festival alone. So the stories that we've heard, I saw somebody saying that they witnessed that a woman who was with her friends were all killed, and she was being raped right there next to the bodies of her dead friends.
See, that does not sound like Palestine. That is somebody else. That is not a Palestinian type of thing to do.
There are a lot of videos like there's a videos going around. I don't even want to look at it anymore. I've seen it enough time. The one time when I saw it, and it what really shook me is there was a woman who was clearly captured. She was thrown to the back of a Jeep. Obviously, what must have happened is it was a very quick operation. They grabbed her, threw her in the back. There's a dude holding her in the back. Once they were in a secured area, there's a video where they relocate her, moved her away from the back, and then shoved her in the back seat. But what's most noting is that she had on gray sweatpants, and her entire back end was covered in blood. So she was clearly raped very brutally.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that's ISIS shit right there. That Palestinians, no, I don't see them doing shit like that. I've never seen them doing shit like that.
There's
So,
all kinds of videos. I mean, there's footage of these
well,
troops.
I'm not saying didn't
Oh,
happen.
I know. I'm not. I'm
saying,
not trying. Yeah, I'm not trying to argue with you on trying to say that it is or it isn't. What I'm telling you is just what I've seen. So I don't know who these people are. All I know is that it is coming from the southern border,
yeah.
in the Palestine area. And so, yeah, so a lot of these, I don't know what we're going to call them, paratroopers or airborne operators, whatever. They got into the town, and there's lots of video where they just going through the cities, just shooting randomly at vehicles driving by, going into buildings, killing children, women. I mean, absolute brutality.
Well, here's the, granted, this is a TV headline, but it says 22 locations freed from infiltrators, and there's a space in there, and then it says IDF. So I'm not sure whether they're talking about IDF freed 22. I can't imagine there were that many paratroopers, but more than likely this is when they attacked, and they're claiming they freed 22 from this Israel occupation, is what I'm reading.
So let me see.
Yeah, not to drag it down. I'm just, kind of.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to look at which part to get to next. So
I mean,
okay.
there's so much conflict in all these videos. I mean, you got rockets going everywhere. You got, it looks like J dams even in some cases. But
well, what do you think about it? If you think that, so you're saying that the tactics that Hamas in Palestine, that they would not be using guerrilla type of tactics.
They would
constitute, but I mean, but we're talking the raping of women, the killing of children.
I don't remember shit like that back in the day when
if
Hamas was actually active.
So if that's not Hamas, then who's doing that? If this is coordinating, these people, whoever these troops are committing these horrific acts, it's coming from coordinated effort out of Palestine.
Well, think about it. We left Iraq with a bunch of equipment, right? When our SOFA agreement went out, all the equipment you saw that got Biden left in Afghanistan, there was equal amount of equipment in Iraq. When we don't have a SOFA agreement, we can't protect our equipment. So they came and unlocked all the whatever was there left that we determined we didn't want to bring back, and that hopefully supplied the Iraqi army. But then you get the dissidents that came out of that, and they collect closer to the Syria border, Iranian border, and they probably took some too.
Well, I'm going to get to the weapons. That's another topic we're about to get to. But what I'm still curious about is who would, whoever's coordinating this.
Who would incite this? I mean, it could be China. Fuck. Who knows?
No. Again, I mean, okay, so we know that Iran definitely, there's already been admittance that Iran has already funded and coordinated. They work with Hezbollah and Lebanon, but also that we know that they've been helping out and most likely at least funded and equipped Palestine as well. But what I still am very curious about, whoever is coordinating this, let's assume that Palestine still is the one who at least coordinating these troops to drop in the paratroopers, had the vehicles ready, launch the fucking rockets. Let's just call it Palestine for now. If they're coordinating, then obviously Hamas is still the mass military. Who are these horrific fighters though that they're using? Are these some sort of just jihadists that they got together that want to go in and are willing to rape women and kill children? Like suicide.
They're hired. Absolutely.
Hired guns. Okay.
Hired guns. That's the way it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get down to who's really behind all this, just turn on the evening news, and I'm sure Biden's doing an interview right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely. That definitely gets to the deeper roots of it. Because I mean, like I said, I have no doubt whatsoever that there is so many. I've talked about this before, that there's so many different layers to the onion to be peeled when you get these kind of operations going. There's so many things. It's not, so many people want to just look at things as black and white, like the invasion of Iraq. You know, so many people who are anti-war on that one want to say it was just for oil. No. If you want to believe that there is some element there about maybe that we were able to get some sort of monetary alleviation off of oil because that, fine, but that would just be one of so many other fucking layers. It's not black and white. It's not just one fucking thing. There's so many layers to the fucking. It's never that fucking simple.
How could it be that simple if they keep claiming, the left keeps claiming that the U.S. is perpetually at war? It's always something, and if you're not going to stop that something instead of protesting in the streets about something that doesn't matter, it's not going to stop. You know, it's crazy. If you want to protest against something that's going to benefit all of us. Yeah, Oliver Anthony's theme song basically is what he was saying.
Yeah, Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
Mike has bad knees. Biden went to bed at noon. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Biden's napping. Yep.
Thorazine shuffle.
Yeah. You know, God, that's another thing I think about. You look at how ridiculously incompetent that man is, and you want to believe that the generals are sitting with him in the Situation Room and saying, "Mr. President, what are your orders?" Does anyone believe that anyone is looking at him for any kind of a competent response?
Did they look at Pelosi that way, or did they remove her? Did they look at Feinstein that way, or did they leave her in a wheelchair for 2 months and then pass legislation under her name when she was completely incoherent?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's sickening, you know?
Yeah, what's not sickening, I was not expecting this, but my God, Samuel the Infamous, thank you very much. Popping in $50.
Nice. Good job.
I greatly appreciate that, man. I wasn't expecting any super chats today. This is obviously not one of our party shows, not one of our drinking shows, but I'm going to definitely give you some much love and appreciation for that, my friend. Thank you. Samuel the Infamous for $50 says, Iran is in bed with the WEF, the World Economic Foundation.
Yeah. Everybody is.
Yeah. And funds Hamas. Greatest obstacle to the WEF hegemony in the West is the U.S. at the same time. How did Israel intelligence allow this in the first place? No,
they allowed it. That's the thing. There's no way
they did allow it. That's exactly it. They just allowed it.
Those guys are the guerrilla warfare guys. I mean, they got weapons that shoot around corners, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you're gonna tell me that their intelligence agencies didn't know that they had these fucking paragliders sent in, and they likely would have been training with them too. There's no way these guys are just gonna go hop on there and know what they're doing. They were obviously training on it.
Take a look around at what's going on. Really, that's what you need to find out. What legislations go on? What kind of big movements are happening in the United States, or announcements are happening? And I'll tell you what, if you want to hear the truth about what's going on over there, I got a TV station for you in Lebanon. It was perfect in Lebanon, and it's called LBC International.
Is that something you want to pull up?
No. It's okay. If you want to track this, if any of your audience wants to track it, you can live stream it. Now you're going to have to go through their normal programming and stuff, but catch it around their news time, and you'll see what's going on in Lebanon and what firsthand.
Okay. Let me finish this up. How did Israel Intel not know this happened in the first place? They did know. The whole thing smacks of false flag, absolutely. And worst part is the kids who will die. And these people don't care. These people who conduct these false flag operations, they don't care who gets hurt, just as long as their agenda is met.
Yeah, I was just listening to a Navy SEAL. This guy was a Navy SEAL, and he was telling the story on behalf of this guy. He said he had permission. And I'll speed it forward, but he had an encounter with two girls that clearly had IED vests on, or not IED, but bomb vests on.
Suicide vest,
And
yeah.
he was at the point, and that still fucks him up today, is that he was at the point where he was almost going to have to pull the trigger because they were coming within range, and all of a sudden he could see the tears in their eyes, and they turned back around and ran where they came from. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with on this level. I mean, that didn't sound like Palestinians. Now, I may be wrong. They may have had suicide vests back then, but the only thing I really remember is a suicide car bombing of the Beirut barracks, of the Marine barracks. I don't remember a lot of, suicide vest bombings. That came maybe 5-10 years later. But this kind of stuff this gets back to the ISIS, man, putting them in cages and burning and cutting their heads off. This is reeks of ISIS.
And again,
I mean, it's on the ground, but bigger picture. You're right. There's more to it than that, and that's why you got to pay attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I know that there's. I feel comfortable in speaking my mind more about the kind of thing I want to say now, because at least people are waking up. The stigma of the conspiracy theory is very much gone now.
With the announcement of UFOs.
I mean, that's a big one too. But I mean, when the hashtag Alex Jones was right is starting to trend more often than anything else. So I mean, this kind of thing just reeks of American intel. That this is CIA all over here.
It reeks of world intel.
I mean, a coordinated effort,
like BlackRock shit. Like, it's not just the U.S. It's just not countries anymore. We're like graduating into a whole nother era right now, especially with the advent of AI. Holy crap, that's going to change the landscape of everything, to include terrorism.
Well, and that's another thing too, is it's so hard to really break down and understand what's real and what isn't, because we've seen the kind of stuff that's out there now. And we know damn well, we talk about all the time in the military that anything that we have in the military, the most advanced equipment, you can age that up at least 10 years in what's really out there, what our tier 1 operators are using. And that was back when I was in. Now people are saying, no, now it's like 15, 20 years more advanced.
And it changes every week. It changes. The bots for AI change every week, become more and more capable, and it's going to get out of control.
Well, and that was my point, is that we look at, people see what's out there for Chat GPT and this other AI being used by Google and everything. If that looks so advanced, then I can guarantee that whatever's really being used behind the scenes is like fucking Terminator style level fucking.
It doesn't. I don't disagree. I guarantee it's out there too. I guarantee you they got robots. All those reports of the Japanese robots killing people in labs over a year ago, that there was probably some truth to that. But
I was just talking about the AI, the level of intelligence in the AI right now.
And what concerns me the most is not whether our troops are using it, but how that AI could be used as an attack on our infrastructure grid. How that could shut down everything, causing the riots, causing mass panic.
Yeah,
that's what I'm fucking scared of.
But yeah, and also, and the point I was getting at also is that we look at the advancements and how good they can create images and video that is just, you can't differentiate the difference between the computer and what's real. So when we see things coming out of Israel or out of Ukraine, how much can we trust that any of it's even fucking real now?
How do you even know fucking Hamas attacked Israel at this point? You're not there. All you're watching is videos and we're reading symbols on a screen. Yeah. Unless you're physically there. That's why I say go to the LBC TV. Because they had reporters. They didn't say a damn word. They just videotaped things, and you made your decision.
Yeah, and that's the other reason why I enjoy. I've been listening to the Twitter Spaces being hosted by Mario Nawfal, and they've got people all over the world. They have people on the ground who are in Israel right now describing what they're seeing. And that's where some of the stories that I was hearing about, the horrific stories. We heard about a grandmother that was burned alive in a building, and another one where these people just went in and killed a child, and the entire family witnessed it. I mean, it's just
we could sit here and talk about it all day long, but until people start getting on like we do and watch the videos and actually experienced it, those people who have never experienced anything like this, never been to combat, are never going to relate until they start watching these videos of what horrific crimes are going on because of social media. Get the hell off TikTok, do something with your life. You like to protest a lot. Well, freaking watch this video and tell me whether this is something worthy of protesting. Because how many Israeli flags have you seen on Facebook today in people's profiles? Nada.
Yeah, it's all us pro-Palestine people. It's the same ones who've been conditioned now to believe that there's such a horrific epidemic of Islamophobia. So they need to support all of Islam out there when they are just completely blind to the fact that Islam right now is committing absolute atrocities in the name of Allah. Does that mean that
they were doing this back in Jefferson's time? When Jefferson, we were first coming over, we were a young country, and Jefferson was in charge of our Navy, right? The Middle Easterns, the Muslims, kept kidnapping boatfuls of people and enslaving them from Europe. Kept kidnapping, and Jefferson basically said, what have we ever done to you? We're a new country. We aren't this, we aren't that. And they go, because we can. The Quran allows us to.
Right.
So you're still dealing with that same mentality today. Same fucking mentality. You just got, more shiny objects to float around it to distract you, whatever the case may be.
Well, the people who want to be all pro-Islam, they look at the good things that are in the Quran, and it's not all bad. Sure, there's talks of doing good and whatnot, but the fact is if you're only focusing on the good parts and ignoring the bad, then you're going to be just completely fucking blind to the truth. Now
you're a cherry picker at that point, and
exactly.
those people, those are the problem, and that's why I say there's a lot of them. And there's bad decisions made by big groups of stupid people.
Yeah.
Here we sit in one.
Yeah. Is everything that's in the Bible good? No. The Old Testament is full of a lot of atrocities and bad shit. But you know what? The Islamists, they believe in the Old Testament too. Every single one of the religions, the Old Testament is a chunk of every single one of our religions. But in our religion, when you get up to the days of Christ, tell me the atrocities that Christ committed. Did Christ not marry a 9-year-old girl and consummate at 11 like their prophet Muhammad did? Are they calling for the deaths of the infidels? Anyone who doesn't believe in Christ? No. Now, does that mean
we did have the Crusades? So.
I was about to say, was there some people who did terrible things in the name of Christ? Yes, but that was not because Christ told them to.
No, exactly right, and that's where organized religion came into the picture. Right.
Exactly. So,
hey, do you gotta get going?
No, I don't. I don't have to get going. No, we still got a little bit of time. I do want to say, want to give a shout out Rarity here.
You get some shout outs. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Rarity, thank you very much. You gotta go take off and put your own video together. Thank you very much. Ro the Hated was in here. Thank you for being back here, Ro. Some of us had too much reality. Stick to the homeland at this point, to be honest. I'll tell you what, man. Ro, I'm assuming you're a man. I'm just gonna call you man. Let's prefer they them. But I am very much on the non-interventionist mentality when it comes to stuff like Ukraine and crap like that. There's so much stuff that we've been sticking our nose into, like USA, America, world police. So much of that is absolute garbage. But what's happening in Israel right now, the atrocities being committed on these people, I'm not saying we need full intervention, that we need full war, but we definitely have to help them out. At the very least, we need to be able to arm them so that they can keep their Iron Dome strong, keep that ammunition going. They absolutely deserve that ammunition more than Ukraine does. I can tell you that much. Israel is a true partner of ours. Ukraine is a corrupt horrible government. The Ukraine people are not bad, but that government is absolutely corrupt. They do not deserve our support. I wish all the thoughts and prayers for the country of Ukraine and the people there. However, we need to pull out that dumpster fire.
It's your new Afghanistan.
Yeah. But yeah, my point. But my point is, so I was just making my point there, Top, that I believe that at the very least we need to remain in support of Israel, at the very least keeping them supplied so they can keep the Iron Dome going. But full conflict, absolutely not. But we need to at least help them as a real friend, a real partner, to let themselves stay protected and not go to full conflict. What do you think?
Biden did that in words. Biden did fully that in words, use the strongest words possible without making a commitment. Now, don't kid yourself. Israel is fully capable of funding and defending themselves. And yes, we got carrier groups, I thought, going over there.
Yeah, they're on their way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you got a full scale up to nuclear sitting off that shore, cruise missiles, whatever you want, launch your jets, all your whatever, your test vehicles, jets, whatever. I'm stumbling for words right now. But here's what you really got to keep in mind is, and I'll get back to this, is when big events like this happen, you got to watch what's happening on all sides of the fence in our country, around the world, and see and start putting those pieces together, because once they have people on the edge of, I don't believe this, or I may believe this, but I'm not going to come out and talk about it in front of people, then they've got you right there. They've shut you up. They've shut up the vast majority of people. You got to go out and do your own research. You've got to start watching these videos. You've got to educate yourself and quit talking about it. Not you, but the vast majority of people.
It's my job to talk about it.
Right. And this is one way of getting it out. And if you don't do that, and there's right people totally guilty of it too. I've ran into them all over the country. The ones that wear the red hats for Trump, there's a shit ton of them are just as stupid as the left. And but the opposite way, I don't necessarily support them anymore. I was dumb for a while, but this is a country thing. This isn't a left and right thing anymore.
No. I want to say, so Samuel says hard disagree, and that's perfectly all right. We can disagree with each other here. Says we help them, they do not help us. I would disagree with that, because they help to stabilize things out there. I mean, if you think about it, they're keeping these Islamic extremist countries out there in check. Would you?
Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking reason why they established themselves there, besides being,
right.
Having property.
And I do want to clarify too, not everything about Israel is great. All right. I believe that the Israeli government has a lot of corruption there as well. I believe that their intel agencies, the Mossad, there's a lot of shady shit about Mossad out there. But all in all, though, Israel, I still believe, they need to be supported. Do they somehow support us? I mean, they do. Israel's always got our back whenever shit goes down over there in the Middle East.
Okay, I don't know where I'm picking up at, but the total number I heard of dead bodies was 900. I'm reading an article 24 hours ago that says 700, and it's saying that President Joe Biden's State Department warned Israel about defending itself and retaliating against the terrorists. So, was that the warning you were talking about, or is that warning Israel, do not smash the hell out of them, do a few little excursions and get their attention?
Which warning were you? When earlier I was saying that the warning was if they attack a civilian site in Palestine, then they'll execute a hostage.
Okay, so it was something different. So Biden's not completely supporting them, from what I originally heard. He's not supporting them defending themselves, in which they are. We know that, but to me, that's a key point. Biden comes out and says the strong words initially, and then he later, just like he always does, whoa, we're never going to build a wall, ever, ever. Well, now we're building a wall.
No, they said they're gonna. Here's the thing about that. They said they're gonna build a wall, but now they've whoever the person, this person of the interior, when they asked her directly, so are you constructing the wall? She used word salad that never said anything about constructing a wall. They're taking the money that is allotted for the wall to do other shit, and claim they're building a wall.
It was another lie.
It's another lie. Absolutely. Yep.
To my point.
Yep. It's all bullshit. And speaking of money, so this is the next thing I want to get to. So we're talking about like the support of Israel, and I want to compare it to other shit. So I saw this on Crowder earlier today. Yes, I still follow a lot of Crowder. If you guys are on anti-Crowder side, I'm not going to apologize. I still like Crowder. That's a whole nother debate. But okay, so the fact is that we do give more financial aid to Israel than any other country. It's $3.3 billion. But total aid last year was $69 billion around the world. That includes to Qatar, 37,000, Egypt, 199 million, 199 million, Lebanon, 606 million, Syria, 826 million, Yemen, 1.3 billion, Afghanistan, 1.4 billion. Now, Israel does get more than anyone else, but you can take a lot of this fucking funding from a lot of these shithole fucking countries. And yes, I don't care if anyone gets fucking insulted by that. Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Egypt, Qatar. Qatar, we've got good. I've been to Qatar. I don't know why they need our money though. Qatar is pretty fucking wealthy, but these other fucking countries don't fucking need it. Why are we giving billions of dollars to all these other fucking countries? We can absolutely direct that somewhere else. You agree?
There ain't no doubt about it. I mean, shit. I mean, me as an example, retired, got my disability, waiting for the legacy VA system to get through 6,000 other people before they get to mine. Yeah, that money could be spent a hell of a lot better. Improving veteran situations, homeless situations, ousting the left out of these freaking cities that they keep dragging down. The whole East Coast is now just nasty. I mean, smash and grabs. How long till it gets to the Midwest?
Yeah, but then, I mean, some of the complaints people have is that we're giving too much money to Israel. Bullshit. That's a drop in a bucket compared to all the fucking money we're sending her all these other fucking countries around the world. So kiss my ass with that shit.
Yeah, and that's not even the bank account below that we've done, like to Japan, Australia, and all the other countries. That stuff doesn't add up to much, but it's still our tax dollars. Period. End of story.
Money laundering scheme. Yeah. I mean, you look at what fucking situation with Ukraine. What was the entire deal back when Biden was VP, or he still is former vice president, as far as I'm concerned. What was the entire deal that he gave to Ukraine just so that they would fire the prosecutor that was investigating Burisma?
Oh no, they weren't going to give him what was it, $1 billion at the time?
Yeah, it was $1 billion. Yep, $1 billion.
6 hours. We all know it by now, but it's crazy.
Yeah,
and
it was money. It was. I mean, that's not money laundering. That was pure fucking bribery to protect Burisma.
If I were to do that in a freaking government position, say those words,
you'd be in jail right away.
I'd be in jail. I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to the Hillary Clinton shit. We talked about it before. That if I was as sloppy as I was with one single fucking classified document, I could find myself in Leavenworth. But she has fucking troves of them. Sam Biden leaving fucking top secret documents in his next to his Corvette in a fucking garage, and he doesn't get in trouble.
Well, and Hillary's, they had evidence that there was bleach bit. They smashed the Blackberries at the time, I think, or iPhones. Yeah. They had that evidence. It's like, okay, so what was your intent here? Oh, we dropped them off the deck at a bar party, forgot them.
Yeah, no, but if we did that, we'd be behind bars in Leavenworth.
Government equipment, that's You know what that is? It's statement of charges for doing that shit.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, dishonorable discharge, but I mean, at the most, yeah, fucking court-martial.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, Samuel, you're awesome, dude. Thank you so much, my friend. See, look at that. We disagreed, and still he gives me money. I thank you. That's amazing.
I mean, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. We can agree to disagree, but we still have more going between us than we have against us. So the little bits we can each give up.
Yeah. No, fuck that. You disagree with me, you're racist. Samuel says,
okay, I'll see you later.
If Israel follows through with erasing Palestine, they will galvanize the entire Arab world and be erased themselves with prejudice.
I'll just be watching for the golden calf or the white calf or white whatever for the sacrifice. Then it's the end of times.
I mean, I guess he's not wrong. I guess, yeah, that would definitely stir up a lot of fucking hornet's nest over there.
Oh yeah. You think it would be another 7-day war, guaranteed.
Yeah.
You're picking on my little brother, Cain and Abel, right?
Iran just wants an excuse, man. Iran wants an excuse. They want to draw us into a war. They want to escalate this thing so they can try to wipe Israel off the map. They just want an excuse.
Yeah,
not wrong.
They've said that forever. They've said that since the beginning of time, and we just gave them $6 billion. And whoa, surprise! A month later, fucking Hamas is attacking Israel.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So we got Blinken, piece of shit over there in the Biden administration, claiming it's not a problem because that wasn't taxpayer dollars.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. For those who don't know, this was money that was held. It was held in Qatari banks.
Yeah.
And so they had the Qataris release the $6 billion. So we had hostages released, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And so he claimed, it's okay because it wasn't taxpayer dollars. It doesn't matter. You're giving them fucking money. You're giving a terrorist organization, which Iran is a terrorist organization. You're giving them money. And then claimed on top of that, well, they couldn't possibly use it for this because it's meant to only be used for humanitarian aid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because, we have control over what other people do with their money.
Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Dad. I'm gonna use this condom just to masturbate in. Yeah, that's it. Yep. That's all. I'm just gonna use this condom to masturbate in, Dad. Thank you.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Yeah, I promise I'm only going to use the Corvette to drive around with my friends very slowly, and right. I promise we won't speed or go on the highway or anything. Yeah, because you always can trust people who are not trustworthy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't trust you.
Yeah. And you're perfectly okay tonight. I don't blame you. They released the $6 billion, and to no surprise, that money clearly went somewhere else, and now we have the Palestinians starting this shit. We have Lebanon to the north with Hezbollah.
Yeah, keep in mind that Lebanon is only 8 square blocks of Hezbollah. You know, Hezbollah is in and out of the country. But the vast majority of them are in old downtown Beirut. Now, they also are contributors to their government. You know, they're kind of like a government entity where they build bridges, they build schools and stuff like that. They just have a different ideology, and we see it as bad. Yeah, they kill people, they bomb people. Well, we've had that too. We just got it under control better. But a good majority up towards the Cedars, up towards Turkey area, along those borders up there's a lot of good Christians in Lebanon. While the vast majority is probably Muslim, the other vast majority is moderate Muslim to Christian.
Okay. So, but here's the thing. So I know that Hezbollah is directly attached to Iran.
Yeah.
So can you explain exactly what that relationship is?
Well, it's just like gangs in this inner city, right? You got bike gangs, you got the Galloping Gooses, but the Galloping Gooses have subsidiaries of other gangs in local areas where they can't cover as the Galloping Gooses, so they hire the stepchildren or they bring the stepchildren into the gang.
Well,
Same
because
concept. It's just it's
it's so because that I can't remember if if I was talking about it on here or if we were backstage. It's all kind of blended together. But there's been the reports, at least what I've been seeing on Mario's Twitter, that there's been the reports that Hezbollah was claiming that Israel bombed, I think it was, a barracks up in of
yeah,
southern Lebanon,
that's what I
and
heard.
that prompted the Lebanese military to start amassing on the border. Now, there's been other claims coming out now that the Israeli Air Force has been actively flying around the area out there. I don't know if that was in patrols or if there was attacks.
They always have. They always have. Now,
Well, I'm sure.
do they do it as often? No, but they always do.
Now, do you think though that this is that? I mean, obviously, my point of bringing up the connection of Hezbollah to Iran, we talked about how Iran is likely funding and push and started this entire thing in Palestine. So now this northern front could be very well be a distraction to maneuver forces and weaken the forces of Israel. We did the exact same thing in the invasion of Iraq. I was a part of this with the 173rd Airborne Brigade when we opened up the northern front of the war after our primary forces came up the south. We opened up the northern front, and Saddam Hussein had to reroute forces to defend against us and 10th Special
Right.
Forces Group and everyone else, and that eased opened up for ease for the southern front to be able to get into Baghdad even easier. So does this not look like this is likely what they're doing here in Israel now? This could be Hezbollah. Maybe the entire thing with the barracks was all a front, but the entire thing is they're trying to get forces to relocate to the north so that there's more ease for Palestine and Hamas to attack on the south.
Either we're going to see that pretty quickly, or we need to take a little bit of time and review the 7 Day War and see how they did it then. See how they failed against Israel. You know, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, fucking all the countries that were against them in the 60s. See how they failed there and see if they're getting any smarter. I mean, it'd be a good tool because it's now possibly the second time it's going to happen in a couple, 40 years.
Well, now we're in the situation where it's so much more technology based. You know, we have all the threats
Yeah.
of cyber attacks. Apparently, I did hear something about there was a massive cyber attack apparently the day of. I can't remember what the entire report of if that was on the military or if that was on the civilians, but cyber attacks, the information warfare more than anything else, I think is going to be a big factor here. That's why they're using the entire concept because I mean we saw it with Ukraine, and it's the very first modern full war that everyone is witness to immediately.
Yeah.
And I think that the PSYOP campaign, the information warfare here, is bigger than anything. Like you pointed out, the fact that this is going to cause a lot of riots around the world, here in the U.S., and it's going to cause a lot of disruption. And I think they've likely got full-on psychological operations units that are in full operation now to push out these images specifically to cause absolute disruption around the world as a result of this.
Well, and we have seen that before, you know, where news coverage is uncovered and there's only 10 people there, but they make it seem like there's hundreds. I mean, we see that shit all the time. But the concern is, you know, with back to your technological advance in Ukraine is what do drones look like in the Middle East, where Syria has historically used gas on its own people? You know, what does biological warfare now look like with drones in the crowds that haven't had a reason to use it, but learned a lot of lessons from Ukraine too, right? The next airborne IED, you know, flying into buildings with a payload of C4.
Oh, I mean, we saw that in Venezuela just recently.
Yeah.
There's I can't remember that there's whoever that fucking president. They're holding a big event there, and apparently somebody shot the thing out of the sky. It blew up in the sky, but that was an attempt. It was an airborne IED with a drone that was going to go to the stage and try to assassinate the president.
Yep. And then they got those little drones with the one shot wonder. It just crashes into your forehead, right? And it's got a 45 on it. Boom, you're dead.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Targeted shit. You don't
Yeah,
think that stuff exists? It does. I
absolutely.
mean,
And
you
again, and like we were talking about, this is the stuff that we know of exists. Imagine the shit that, like we said, there's so
yeah.
much more shit out there that we don't even know exists yet.
I mean,
That could be
sorry.
good.
Yeah, well, if you've ever watched those drone racers, right, they'll set them on the edge of a table, they'll tilt them up on their side, and they'll take off at light speed and come right back and back and back. If a person can do that, what can AI do with a target, a laser target on it, to guide it in, or
Yeah.
any other thing for that matter?
I mean, shit, even going back to '03, there, I remember there was the mystery bullet. You remember the mystery bullet? A fucking round went right through an Abrams tank. There's something. There's a hole went all the way through one side or the other. There's a side of like I guess like something like the size of a 50 cal. They call it the ghost bullet or something like that. It went all the way through a tank, and somebody think and the theories were that it was actually it was a laser that somebody
Yeah, could have been.
yeah. So I mean yeah, and that's going back 2003.
Yeah, because that I would have to think that'd be the only thing that like when a shell hits it, there's a compression in it. That's where your ears start to bleed and stuff. But a laser is that quick, man. There would be no chance for it. I don't know what the effect actually is called.
No. Anything else we want to hit on here?
No, you got a game to watch.
Well, I hate to make that the priority, but I didn't think this is going to need to go on for much more than an hour. Everyone, before everyone takes off, here's what we're going to do. Me and the first sergeant here, we're talking. We're going to what we're probably going to do is when news pops off, we're going to pop on here and we're probably going to do some pre-recorded videos for major news. We're not going to do it for everything, but some of the really big events we're going to get on there and we're going to do our best possible analysis using our expertise. And this guy knows so much about the area and what's been going on over there. So be sure, if you're new here, make sure you get onto that subscription, double tap that like and subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications, because we are definitely, if things are popping off, man, we're going to get on here, we're going to do the pre-record videos, and if shit gets really fucking big, we're going to pop on here, we'll do a live stream to talk with you guys about that. And it looks like somebody dropped some memberships here. Let me see. Who was that? I saw a lot of new members just showed up. Who dropped the memberships? Let me get up here.
Yeah, but tell your listeners, be watching too. Chime in when they see something. We can't all see it all. Get them to pop on and say, hey, seeing this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So weird. Wait a minute. This is saying a lot became sponsors. Did you guys all just all of a sudden? Maybe that's not members. Maybe we just. Savage Dad, you're already a subscriber here. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess everyone just a bunch of new people just subscribed is what it was. Thank you guys for the. Thank you guys for the subscriptions. If you want to support this channel more, make sure you can also support us by becoming a member as well at either the Simple Jack, Tropic Thunder membership, or you went full retard, and that does do a lot to keep the lights on around here. So first on, thank you very much, man. This is great, great analysis here, great talk. Really appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.
And also, Professor Savage Dad is over on Rumble. Thank you, everyone who's watching over on Rumble as well. I see the 18 of you over there. Thank you guys so much. Everyone out there, thank you guys. Thank you for everyone new who is popping on here. I guess I'm assuming that a lot of people found us because of the hashtags and everyone. So if you're new to the channel, thank you guys very much for checking out Vets Talking. Like I said, pay attention to the notifications throughout the week. Check out our show on Thursday. We got Knife Hands. It very well be more lighthearted this week. We very well possibly do have Rachel Reenstraw, multiple time Emmy nominated actress and comedian. Luckily, she can't make it on the Saturday show, so it looks like we may have her on this Thursday. But also do check out the Saturday show as well, Skinamax Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern. A lot of fun over there. JB popping in at the very last minute with a 5.56. I love seeing that number, buddy. Thank you very much, JB. Appreciate that. And thank you for the perspective, he says. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So that being said, like I already said, double tap that like and subscribe. Share this out there with everyone because you don't got to be a veteran to enjoy this content or get some big brain information from us out here. You just don't get butt hurt. You've been warned.
Oh, God! Ah!